So, Savannah, thank you so much for talking to me. I was just reading up on the play because I know it's different to the traditional Jack and the Beanstalk, but I wanted you to tell us more about the play, if that's okay, or the pantomime.
Yeah. So, yes, it does differ from the original Jack and the Beanstalk story slightly. And it focuses more on the concept that ordinary boys can do extraordinary things. That's like the manifesto of the show. Um, and obviously it's new writing. It was written by Anna Jordan, and it's just it just takes away from the original story of just the giant and the beanstalk. It just adds more to it. There's more character. Um, there's just like a lot more nuance to it, I would say. Yeah, I think I don't want to give too much away. It's difficult to really go into it without ruining anything. But yeah, it's like Jack and the Beanstalk point two. There's like a bit of extra
Nice.
to it.
That's exciting. I'm very excited about this. What attracted you to the play?
Well, I had actually worked with Anna Jordan before, back when I was training, and so I knew like a few of her plays, and I'd like seen her writing before, and so when I saw her name on the audition come through, I thought, oh wow, like, this is probably going to be something different.
Mm,
I'd not really seen many pantos personally, like I didn't really grow up seeing pantos,
mm,
so although it's something that I'd definitely been interested in, it's not something that I knew that much about. I just kind of knew the basic structure, like he's behind you. Oh no, he isn't. Oh yes,
mm.
he is. So that's kind of just what I expected. But when I read the script, there was just so much more to it. And like even the character that I play, Winnie, I just felt like she was just hilarious from like just she jumped off the page instantly. And yeah, it just looked like a really exciting project, like just from the beginning.
That's really nice. I totally am the same with you. I never grew up watching pantos at all. And I always thought it was this whole kind of, as you said, he's behind you, or just really kind of over the top, ridiculous. But pantomimes are so entertaining, and they
Yeah,
now make them for the whole family. So you could be an adult or a kid. There's like jokes that are age appropriate depending on how old you are. It's just they're really good. They're really entertaining.
yeah, definitely.
I really like them. I was going to ask you if you could share the most exciting moment so far that you've experienced whilst working, or I guess in the rehearsal process at the moment.
I would say the most, so we're in previews at the moment, so we've done a
Oh,
few shows to audiences, and I think the most exciting moment for me was the first time I came out and addressed the audience, and it was just like full of like 3 to 6 year old kids staring up at me wide-eyed, like so excited, and just being able to tell them the story and seeing them being so invested, following along so well, not getting bored, like they were just in it 100% from start to finish. And it was just so beautiful to be able to share that with them. I've not done children, like children's theatre before, and I've not really done shows that have had young audiences. And
mm,
so you kind of assume that they're not going to understand it all. And obviously, it is for the whole family. There are jokes that are for the adults and for the kids. But when you're in rehearsals, obviously, it's a room full of adults. So you're
yeah,
not thinking about the things that the kids are going to enjoy as much, and like how amazed they're going to be by it all. And yeah, it was just such an incredible experience to just come out and see all those kids like screaming away. And it's so interactive. So obviously, we speak to the audience, they speak back, they're involved in the show. And yeah, just how much they enjoyed it and like how much they got out of it, I really got so much from that because it was just so beautiful to see.
that's lovely. I can imagine like their reactions would be so infectious as well because they
Yeah,
they're not shy at
no,
all.
not at all. They'll tell you what they think, 100%.
I love that about them completely. With Because obviously it is a family performance, so it's for small children all the way up into 100 years of age. Is there a theme or a message that you hope the audience will take away from this particular production?
I think in this production specifically, I think the casting has been done so well because there is such an array of different types of people on stage. And I feel like, especially for the area, like Stratford East Newham, like it's a really multicultural area. And I think it's so important, especially for young children, but for the whole family. I think it's so important to see people on stage who look like them. And I think they really do get that experience when they come and see the show because everyone is just so different, but they're seeing an Asian Jack, they're seeing a black Winnie the Moo, they're seeing like
Mhm.
so many different people and so many different faces and people that they can relate to. And they may not watch the show and think, oh, I want to be an actor, but it just kind of opens that door potentially for them to know that that is a possibility. Or even if they're not interested in it at all, it's just like going away and seeing yourself represented, I think is just so important.
Totally agree with you. I think now it's even better that pantomimes in general have so much more diversity. I've been noticing it over the past 2 years, and it's nice because I think, as you were saying before, like growing up, it just wasn't a thing that I would never think to watch as a child. One, because they didn't look like me, and two, like the stories, nothing about it just in any way appealed to me or my family. Whereas I think now, whenever I speak to my friends who've got kids, they're like, oh, I'm going to watch this, I'm going to watch that because this person looks like my kids, or it's
Yeah,
makes a huge difference. A
it
huge
really, really
difference.
does.
Mhm. It must be nice to see diversity in the audience as well when
Yeah,
you're performing, especially with kids, because it's just nice that you know that you represent them.
definitely. Yeah. And it's not something that I've experienced as much in um like previous jobs that I've done, like to this level. Obviously it is the area, it's representative of the
Mm.
area as well, but it means a lot more, I
Yeah,
think. And especially as you said, like growing up there is that disconnect when like you don't see people who look like you. It's just like, oh well, I don't like it's not something that I need to see. But even like
mm,
having Nicole who plays Jack on the poster, it just makes such a difference for the people that are going to see that and say, oh yeah, I will go and watch that panto. Like
mm,
it's really important.
totally agree. I was going to ask you, so you play the character Winnie the Moo. Um, if you had to give Winnie the Moo any advice that could change the course of the play, what would it be and why?
Mm, what advice would I give Winnie the Moo? I would say um she really puts Jack first. She
Mm.
really cares for him. She's almost like she's a best friend and like a mother figure. And I think that is kind of what causes her momentary downfall, that she puts Jack and his needs and what's going to be best for him ahead of her and what she um don't want to give it away, what she um would probably in a situation where if she had put herself first, she
Mm.
would have come out better. She didn't. So I would say potentially, although it would change the entire story, think about yourself when before you
Mm.
think about Jack.
Good advice. I feel like that's the advice everyone needs sometimes. Put yourself first in certain
Yeah.
situations. It can be better. So I totally agree. Do you have a favorite line from the show? It could be your line or anyone's line that you always that makes you laugh or you just love that line.
Yeah, there's a couple actually. I would say one of my favorite lines that I say is you look like you've been thrown up, which doesn't make much sense without the context, but it's just always very fun. Um, and there are a few lines in the show that get me every single time, but I think I'm working with such a hilarious cast. Like
Mm.
even some of the ad libs that they do to the audience, like we'll be on stage like tears streaming, trying to trying to hold it in because they're just too funny. Like it's just hilarious. But yeah, I'd say there's a lot of one-liners, but it from night to night it could change.
Oh, I can imagine. It must be so fun because it's not some plays or some performances you can do can be so taxing because they're so serious, where this is you can just laugh if you well, I
Yeah,
guess you can't just burst into laughter, but it's just
no, that's not advised, but sometimes sometimes it might happen. But yeah, it's just such a breath of fresh air, honestly. I think sometimes people look down on pantos. I think
mm,
for multiple reasons people would choose not to do it. I mean, the schedule is insane. The 10 a.m. shows can be tough. But it's so rewarding and it is just so much fun. And especially like this show that Denzel has created is it's just like I just can't fault it. It is just hilarious. It's so much fun. The cast are incredible. So yeah, it's such an incredible experience.
it sounds amazing. You've sold me, by the way. Like I'm sold. I was going to ask you how you prepare physically and mentally for the energy and enthusiasm to perform because you've always got to be so on your A game with pantomime, like especially because it's to do with kids. How do you how do you prepare for it every day?
It might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but I like to start the day with yoga, like really calming. I like to meditate before a show just to get into like not even really as much into the zone of the character, but just to get rid of the outside world, just to be able to focus on the show. And then I feel like me and Nikhil, who plays Jack, we have like a little before we go on stage, we have a little routine that we do before we go on. But I think mainly, honestly, the audience energy is so infectious that once you're on that stage, like you can't help but give that energy. Like
Yeah,
whether it is early in the morning, whether you're tired, whether it's a two-show day, like it's just you just bounce off of what they're giving you. And the way that the show has been created, even the opening number, it is just so energetic and
mm,
exciting. And the set is beautiful and colourful, and the lights are incredible. And it all just plays a massive part into creating the world. And once you're in it, it is just infectious. Like you just have that energy, it just comes from somewhere, I don't know. But personally, my like routine is yeah meditation and yoga so I kind of calm myself down to psych myself up.
that's a very interesting way actually because I guess you need that calm at some point, so you get your calm so that your body's now ready to just go all out.
Yeah, I think as well for me I need to like center my mind to make sure that I can always return to the character and the script because it is so high energy and there's a lot of ad lib with the audience. It can be very easy to just get lost in the
Mm.
excitement. And so to make sure that I'm always saying the lines I need to say in the places I need to be, I need to make sure that I'm in a state of calm so that I can just let the character take over and let the show happen.
Totally. No, that makes totally makes sense actually. I've one more question for the play, which is if you could describe the play in 3 words, what would it be and why?
3 words. I would say definitely inspiring, um, magical,
Nice.
and what would the third one be? Just joy.
Mm,
Just yeah. I think I think you can't come out of the show without a smile on your face. And that is down to obviously what we're all doing on stage. It's down to the music that has been created for the show. The songs are amazing. It's it's all of it. Like it's a massive package, but it all comes in to just make this really incredible piece. And I think it's definitely inspiring. It's definitely you see the kids light up, and even like the parents, the adults that are there as well. Like they come out of it with a bit of pep in their step because it is just like a feel good. It's a feel good show. It's Christmas time. It's like you just leave your worries behind you and just come and enjoy a show at the theatre, and you leave feeling like on top of the world. I can do
yeah.
anything. He can do it. I can do it, kind of thing.
That's nice. That's exactly how it should be. You sometimes need to go, you need to watch something and come out feeling happy and just feeling inspired because life can be tough. So it's nice to have that escape as well
Yeah,
for the whole
definitely.
family. I have some very quick fire questions. So it's basically the first thing that comes to the top of your head. So my first question is your favorite theatre space.
My favourite theatre space would have to be the Prince of Wales Theatre in Leicester Square. That's where my first job was, and so it will always hold a really, really special place in my heart.
No, that's I love that theatre venue actually. So that's a good one. Your favorite theatre show. It could be one you've been in or one you've watched.
Oh, oh, that's really hard. Um, I think I would say Lion King. It's the first show that I ever saw, and it is the reason that I went into acting. It's the reason that I wanted to follow this path. Once again, because I saw people who looked like me, and I said,
Yeah.
I want to do that. So yeah, Lion King.
You know that player, I agree with you. It was one of the only, and it's such a big budget play that had so much representation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's such a good play. Your dream guest is someone you would love to see this play. They can be dead or alive, but someone you think would really enjoy watching Jack and the Beanstalk.
My dream guest. Wow. Do you know what? I would say my grandma. She's passed away now, but yeah, I would that would be my dream. I think Winnie is definitely very loosely based on my grandma. Um, just as an older Caribbean woman, and I think she would love it. I think she would have loved this show. So yeah.
Well, that's lovely. And your proudest career moment to date.
I think I would say once again my first job.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I booked the Book of Mormon like a few months after graduating. And I
Oh
think
wow.
graduating and going straight to the West End was not something that I ever envisioned.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, that was something that like I surprised myself and I will always be grateful for. And I will always, if I'm having a down day or, you know, feeling a bit rubbish about myself, it's something that I can look back on and say, there are so many things that led up to that moment to allow me to be able to do that job.
yeah.
And like, if this hadn't happened, then that wouldn't happen. If this hadn't happened, then that wouldn't happen. So that has got to be, yeah, my proudest
Mm.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's so impressive actually because it can be so hard to kind of go from drama school to something.
Yeah.
And such a huge play as well. So that's really awesome. My final quick fire question for you is the person who's had the greatest impact on your career.
Um, wow. That one's hard. Um, I don't know if this is a terrible answer, but can I say me?
Of course we can, yes.
Because I feel like I've learned so much in every experience that I've had, and I've changed and grown as I've gone from job to job. And some of them have been difficult experiences, some of them have been amazing experiences, but I have learned so much from them. And I feel like I'm kind of the person that I've got to come back to every day, and the person that's got to motivate me the most has got to be myself. And if I don't believe in myself, then how am I going to expect anybody else to? So yeah, even though that might be a terrible answer, I'm going to say
No,
me.
that's a great answer. Actually, I think more people should say them because you're so right. You have to be your own cheerleader, your own support, everything to motivate yourself to keep just pursuing everything. So amazing answer. I love that answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Savannah, thank you so much for talking to me. Um,
Thank you.
the the whole play sounds so good. If I was a child, I love it. As an adult, I know I'm gonna love it. So I look forward to watching it. So thank
Good.
you.
I can't wait for you to come.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'll let you know how I find it. I'm sure I'll love it. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.
No, thank you so much. I'm just getting to